What's happening, YouTube? This video deviates from my normal content. I thought it would be kind of interesting because the manual transmissions are going away, and sooner than later they'll be a thing of the past. So I was like, how can I set this camera up where I won't get in trouble? And I think I found a solution. I think the angle is pretty decent. So I hope you enjoy this video. It's not meant to be a tutorial of any kind. It's just my opinions on what works for me. These things are going away, and they're probably not going to come back. Sad to say. So, enjoy. Seems like a lot of people like shifting videos. Hell, I even watch them. Manual transmissions are cool. Tell you one thing. Get the yard guy coming out. All right, let's go trucking. A lot of people like shifting videos. Hell, I even watch them. Manual transmissions are cool. It's literally my favorite part about driving a truck. This one here is not the best I've driven. I don't like the way the Freightliner's set up, number one. I prefer to have the switch for the Jakes up on the dash. It's on the steering wheel here, and sometimes, well, the steering wheel moves, right? So your switch for the Jake brake also moves, and occasionally you find yourself searching for it. It's not the greatest design. Wow, that's a nice looking FLC Freightliner. There's not very many cool looking Freightliners, but that is definitely one of them. loading would indicate that you're dragging the gears across. I try to rev match each shift nicely where you're not grinding the gears. Some people use a double clutch, which is cool also. I try not to keep my foot anywhere near that clutch unless I'm going to use the clutch, but a double clutch kind of goes like that. Very simple. I flip-flop. Sometimes I'll double clutch a downshift just because, for whatever reason. One thing to remember though is you should never be revving up that engine when you're releasing the clutch. It's not a car. You don't need to give it any throttle when you're releasing the clutch. Now there is occasionally do a heel-toe type shift. So I got my toe on the brake and I kind of flip my heel over and tap the throttle. And then whoops, occasionally we'll grind gears. You'll have that. It's fine. Kind of just tap the throttle to get it out of gear. Problem with making videos like this is there's going to be 20 people that say that ain't how I would do it, and they would all 20 or probably 19 of them would be right. On a heavy truck transmission like this with no synchros, you have a clutch brake. And that's located at the bottom of the motion. And you can kind of feel it. It's just a little in there. You don't ever want to be applying pressure to that clutch brake when you're in motion. You only want to use it to get it into gear. And as soon as you're into gear, you want to pull back up kind of mid-range in the clutch pedal. So you're not in the friction zone, but you're not applying to the clutch brake, so you're kind of in between. That'll save you a lot of headache down the road. So when you take off, you're just gonna, you'll remember where the friction zone is. Just get in the friction zone. No throttle needed. Just slowly let out the pedal and ease through the gears. There's no reason to wind out every gear to the governor. It won't get you there any faster. It just sounds like you're doing a lot of stuff. Really, you're not. You want to build up speed. As you get higher in the gears, you rev the engine out a little further. You just kind of build your speed. 44,000 pounds in the box. We're not building speed fast. You can skip shift these transmissions too. This is only a 10-speed, so you don't have a whole lot of gears you can skip. But a lot of times I'll skip from first to third. When I'm empty, I might skip from second to fourth and then over to sixth. When you're skipping, you have to have patience and let the RPMs. It takes a little longer for the RPMs to fall. You're not slamming that throttle to the floor. After you catch your next gear, you just kind of ease into it. Because these things make a lot of torque, even though this is probably the most gutless truck I've ever driven in my life. That's not true. Some of the old trucks were pretty gutless. But this thing's she's no speed queen, that's for damn sure. But it's still a lot of torque. You can still tear things up. You don't want to be shocking the drive line. Alright.